Imagine a world where jealousy in relationships is almost non-existent, and children are raised by the entire community, not just two parents. This isn't a utopian fantasy. It's a glimpse into how some of our most distant ancestors might have lived, a reality observed in some of the world's most isolated tribes. These communities, living in ways that echo our pre-agricultural past, offer a unique window into human nature. By studying them, anthropologists can piece together what human social life might have looked like before the dawn of farming, cities, and modern social structures. They provide a living laboratory to explore the evolutionary roots of our behaviors, challenging many of our modern assumptions about relationships, family, and society. Let's journey into their world and see what they found. In many of these foraging societies, courtship isn't about grand romantic gestures or formal dates. Instead, it's a subtle, community-embedded process where mutual attraction often develops through shared daily activities like gathering food or participating in group dances and rituals. Partnerships often form gradually, without the formal ceremonies we're accustomed to. A couple might simply start spending more time together, sharing food, and eventually sleeping in the same hut, a union recognized by the community without fuss or fanfare. Interestingly, the concept of strict, lifelong monogamy is not always the norm. Many of these groups practice forms of serial monogamy or even have more fluid partnership arrangements, where individuals might have different partners over their lifetime. These relationships are based more on companionship and cooperation than on notions of ownership or rigid commitment. Gender relations in these hunter-gatherer societies often display a remarkable degree of egalitarianism. Because both men and women contribute essential resources to the group, men often hunting, women often gathering plant foods, which can be more reliable, their contributions are seen as equally valuable. This economic interdependence fosters a balance of power. Women frequently have significant autonomy, making their own decisions about their work, their bodies, and their relationships, a stark contrast to the patriarchal structures that dominated much of agricultural history. Decisions that affect the group are often made through consensus, with both men and women having a voice in the discussion. The rigid gender roles that define many modern societies are far more flexible and less pronounced in these communities. Perhaps one of the most striking differences lies in child rearing. The idea of the nuclear family, with two parents solely responsible for their children, is largely absent. Instead, these societies practice what anthropologists call alloparenting, where children are cared for by a wide network of relatives and community members. From a very young age, infants and children are passed from person to person, cared for by grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, and even unrelated friends. This constant social contact provides a secure and nurturing environment, fostering strong social bonds and a deep sense of belonging to the group. This communal approach to raising children also means that the burden of childcare is shared, freeing up parents, especially mothers, to contribute to other essential community activities. It truly takes a village to raise a child, and in these communities, that village is a tangible, ever-present reality. Elders in these tribes are not seen as unproductive burdens, but as vital repositories of knowledge and experience. They are the living libraries of the community, holding crucial information about plant lore, hunting techniques, genealogy, and tribal history. Their wisdom is essential for the group's survival, especially during times of hardship like droughts or food scarcity. They guide decision-making, mediate disputes, and play a central role in educating the younger generations, passing down the cultural traditions that bind the community together. The respect afforded to elders ensures that their accumulated life experience benefits the entire group, creating a powerful intergenerational bond. Their role is one of guidance and stewardship, not of authoritarian rule. The community is the cornerstone of life. Individual identity is deeply intertwined with the group, and a spirit of cooperation and sharing is paramount. Food resources, for example, are almost always shared throughout the entire camp. This ethic of demand sharing means that anyone can request food from another, and it is socially obligatory to share without expecting an immediate return. This system acts as a powerful social safety net, ensuring that no one goes hungry, even if they have an unsuccessful day of foraging or hunting. This intense community involvement fosters a strong sense of collective responsibility and reduces internal competition. The group's success is prioritized over individual accumulation of wealth or status. While these societies are often remarkably peaceful and egalitarian, they are not without conflict. However, their methods for resolving disputes are often very different from ours. Instead of formal laws or punishments, they rely on social pressure, gossip, and public discussion to address transgressions. If a conflict arises, the community might gather to discuss the issue openly, allowing all parties to air their grievances. The goal is not to punish the offender, but to restore social harmony. Ostracism or ridicule are powerful tools used to encourage individuals to conform to group norms. Violent conflict between groups does occur, but it is often ritualized and on a much smaller scale than the organized warfare seen in larger state-level societies. Within the group, a strong emphasis is placed on avoiding confrontation and maintaining cohesion. When anthropologists compared findings across multiple isolated groups, from the Hadza of Tanzania to the Agda of the Philippines and various Amazonian tribes, a consistent pattern emerged. They found a common baseline of egalitarianism, intense cooperation, and fluid social structures. While each group has its unique customs and traditions, the underlying principles of shared resources, communal child-rearing, and balanced gender dynamics appear to be common adaptations to a foraging lifestyle. These were not isolated quirks, but a widespread solution to the challenges of pre-agricultural life. This cross-cultural evidence strongly suggests that for the vast majority of our species' history, humans lived in societies that were far more cooperative and egalitarian than most we see today. The nuclear family, private property, and deep social hierarchies may be relatively recent inventions in the grand scheme of human history. So, what does this all mean for us? These findings challenge our fundamental notions of what is natural for human beings. For over 95% of our history, we were hunter-gatherers, living in small, mobile, and highly cooperative bands. Our modern world, with its dense cities, social isolation, and nuclear families, is a very recent and dramatic departure from the environment in which our social brains evolved. Many of our modern anxieties and social problems may stem from this mismatch between our ancestral past and our present reality. These isolated tribes don't represent a perfect past, but they do offer a profound perspective. They remind us that the way we live now is just one of many possibilities, and that the human capacity for cooperation, sharing, and community runs deeper in our evolutionary history than we might have ever imagined. To learn more about the diverse tapestry of human relationships and social structures, subscribe to Sex Education Repo.